emergency. Can you get someone over here now to 325 Gretna Green? He's back. Please.
Okay, what does he look like?
He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record. Could you just send somebody over here?
Okay, what is he doing there?
He just drove up again. He just drove me over.
Hey, wait a minute. What kind of car is he in?
He's in a white Bronco, but first of all, he broke the back door down to get in.
Okay, wait a minute. What's your name?
Nicole Simpson.
Okay, is he the sportscaster or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Wait a minute. We're sending the police. What is he doing? Is he threatening you?
I'm going nuts.
Okay, has he threatened you in any way, or is he just harassing you?
You're going to hear him in a minute. He's about to get in again.
Okay, just stay on the line.
I don't want to stay on the line. He's going to beat the shit.
Wait a minute. Wait, just stay on the line so we can know what's going on till the police get there, okay? Okay, Nicole?
Uh-huh.
Just a moment. Does he have any weapons?
I don't know.
Okay.
He went home, now he's back. The
Okay.
kids are upstairs sleeping, and I don't want anything to happen.
Okay. Has he hit you today or no?
No.
Okay, you don't need any paramedics or anything? Okay. You just want him to
My
leave.
door. He broke the whole back door in.
And then he left and he came back?
Then he came and he practically knocked my upstairs door down, but he pounded it, and then he screamed and hollered, and I tried to get him out of the bedroom because the kids were sleeping in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then he wanted somebody's phone number, and I gave him my phone book and put my phone book down to write down the phone number that he wanted, and then he took my phone book with all my stuff in it.
The dispatch.
What?
What does he say?
What do you always
Units, your domestic violence at 30 Coercion 325 South Gretna Green Way is still too high. The suspect is now entered in the jail vicinity of refusing to leave. It's code too high. Incident 4221 RD 825 children. Just stay on the line, okay? Is he upset with something that you did?
A long time ago, it always comes back.
This is Cynthia Ortiz. It's the 30th of October, 2022. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast, but for Mr. Perry, I'm going to do this disclaimer. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for legal standard, but for documenting stalking like this. Mr. Roberson was a proxy stalker and a hitman, apparently. I bought charcoal to absorb arsenic that they were giving me at work. I'm just going to work, just trying to take care of my son. Minding my own business, doing my own thing, and they always come where I am. Economic abuse, Mr. Perry, is a problem for you. So is grand larceny with intent to coerce. So is interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. So is the bank draft, Mr. Robertson, that you told people you wish you hadn't fucked up, pertaining to my vehicle, and a phone bill you just fucked up too. Mr. Perry, my guys are sitting there watching everything you do. Don't complain when we quote you. Don't complain. You guys will do something harmful to me and criminal, and I'll say, do that again, I dare you. Do it one more time, I dare you. And you guys all beat your chest and act all tough guy. You got little man syndrome or something, mommy issues. We don't know what the hell's wrong with you. We hear that more than anything. Why is he doing that to her? Why is he doing that to her? Why is he fucking doing that to her? That's the big question. Why are you? So, when you beat your chest and act all tough guy, watch, we're going to do it anyway. We can do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. You're going to subjugate. Everybody's going, wow, okay. Then when we quote you, why do you run around going, how does she know? How did she find out? How did she know about that? Like you trafficked me. Nobody helps you with that information, do they? Why do you think that is? Because everybody's sick of this, and sick of you, and horrified, and deeply disturbed by the crap you do. So the little stunt you just pulled, I dare you, Mr. Perry, do it one more time. Do it one more time. Make my card not work. Any of them. I tried to purchase something online. None of my cards worked. Then we heard them. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we shouldn't have interfered with the bank draft. So do it one more time. So we can laugh at you as y'all run around going, how'd she know about that? How'd she find out about that? Like the forged marriage license you used and the power of attorney you used to get the banking information. It's privacy laws you've broken in getting that information. And nobody will show that to me. Those 2 documents, I've asked for them and asked for them and asked for them. That's because I didn't sign them. So he won't show them to me. Nor will. He's making sure nobody else does either. Ran around everywhere, all over Oklahoma for 6 years. Oh, that's my girlfriend. We're married. We're a couple. She's my concubine. I own her. And everybody's going like, what a weirdo. What planet are you on? You live in some sort of fantasy land. Everybody laughed at you. You look ridiculous. Where's the wedding photos? And they were like, I think it's a forgery. I don't think it's legit. Well, we're, maybe we got to plan a wedding. So he goes to my family, I guess, and had them plan a wedding. And I heard a couple of weeks ago, I think Charles had to call again and tell them the wedding's been postponed. I think they know by now there's not going to be one. The only reason there was a wedding planned is because someone was questioning a forged document. Forgery is a crime. Identity theft. And so he decided, maybe I ought to throw together a wedding and so we have some photos so I can make this forgery look legit. Well, how did you think you were going to get me to participate in that? Drug me? Kidnap me? There's no fucking way I'll beat the hell out of you get anywhere near me. You know that. People are going, where's the text that says, I like you? Where's the date? When have you been on a date with her? Never. In 13 years, never. He gets anywhere near me, I'll beat the fuck out of him. He's not going to touch me. Mr. Perry has lived in a fantasy pretend land for a decade now, making a fool of himself. And everybody laughs at you. So one more time, don't again say, how did she find out about that? How do I know? You know how I know? Because you have cops investigating you. Like I knew Mike Neely was drugged before anybody else said it. And Mitchell was complaining. How did she know my legal argument before I even made it? Because there are cops investigating Mr. Perry, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Powell, Mr. Burson, Mr. Chadwick from somewhere else. And Calvin. Who's Lucius? You know, I told you, when Mr. Perry starts threatening to kick me out of my house, I'm going to get you kicked out of your house. I'm going to take everything you have. I'm going to get you. This guy is like somebody needs to kick his teeth out sometimes. Maybe then he'll start thinking right. The stuff he says is very abusive and very cruel. And the threats that I get. I'm going to take your car away. I'm going to make you eat out of a dumpster. You're going to leave Oklahoma or else. Listen, I came up here to be with my family. It was the second time I'd moved to get away from you. Grow up here and move on. You're rejected. The reason you're rejected is because you do shit like that. People like people who make everything fun and easy. That's just what people like. Everybody likes life to be fun and easy. And the people that help life be fun and easy. And you guys, for y'all, everything's a thing. And everything's an ordeal. And everything's a threat. And everything's bothering, and everything's getting creepy about it, and everything's getting weirdo about it. So nobody likes you. So our guys get one last night. The guy goes, the hardest thing about watching this thing with Cynthia, living in our car, is that she has to drive to go pee. When I'm growing up, a gentleman gives his chair up for a woman. Mr. Perry is sleeping in a nice cozy bed. He gets up and waddles like the Hobbit, way that he waddles, into the next room and pees. Cynthia has to drive somewhere to pee. What a piece of shit. That's why nobody likes him. That's why nobody will help him. Because he does shit like that to her. And then, bank drafts get returned and stuff. So when I tell you guys, I do it again. I dare you. Do it fucking again. Threaten me one more time. You stupid little bitch. Does it make you feel tough guy picking on a woman? Oh, little man syndrome club? Is that how that works? You guys all wear matching dresses? You feel tough picking on a woman, David? Threatening me, I'm going to make you eat out of a dumpster, you're going to leave? I came here to get away from Mr. Perry. I don't know you. I've not done a thing to you. You have absolutely not one reason to pick on me. But you woke up one day and just decided to ruin somebody's life you don't even know? Or were you hired to? At your criminal trial, you can explain all that. You wanted to give me arsenic? This guy says, I'm like, the night before... let me back up. So when I tell you, do it again, I dare you. Carry out that threat, I dare you. And y'all get all beat your chest and, we gotta subjugate her. And then you do it. But we find out before And everybody's running around, scurrying around. How'd she find out about that? How'd she know? She wasn't supposed to know. I wasn't, but I do. I know you trafficked me. That's a life sentence. That is prison and a life sentence, Mr. Perry. And guy who bought me. And, Mr. Perry, I really, again, shut up. He types in my other phone when I'm doing these, like he thinks it's a conversation. That's how wacko. Hacking is illegal, sir. Peeping is illegal, sir. Stalking is illegal, sir. Threatening people is illegal. Witnesses and shit, victims of your crime, that's illegal. Trying to force someone to do something they don't want to do against their will, illegal. You're getting my private information illegally with a forged document. So when somebody started questioning it, I don't see any wedding photos. When did you go on a date with her? Have you ever had sex with her? No? Fuck no. Have you ever, where's the text from her to you that indicates she even likes you at all? In 13 years, there's never been a date. There never will be. Mr. Perry, you're a job, and you seem to forget who it is you're talking to. And when I tell you guys, do it again, I dare you. Cause me another injury by a criminal act again, I dare you. And you do it anyway, and then we're quoting you and finding out what you're doing, like sex trafficking, that goes with prison and a life sentence. And we find out beforehand. I'm not in Houston right now, because we found out beforehand. I found out about the forgeries. I wasn't supposed to, but yet I did. I knew Mike Neely was drugged because you're being investigated. They heard you talking about it. So be very careful before you beat your chest, little man syndrome. You do know what that means, right? It's not a compliment. So, I came here to get away from Mr. Perry. And he has raped me every day since the day I met him. I don't know how else to describe being stalked and voyeured and sold online on his dark web thing. He's making a profit off of my body. He's getting entertained in his little pretend world. Imagine, okay, let's use this guy for an example. I've not met this man, but I heard him on the radio over the last 2 days on the murder, suicide, and Broken Arrow. So I'm just simply using him as an example, Mr. Perry. For that reason, because he's a public figure, kinda. I think he's the public information officer or something. And I want to use a police officer. He's one. It's Ethan Hutchins with Broken Arrow. What if he was watching television and he sees, the Kardashian girls, Khloe Kardashian or one of those girls, or, shit. I'm not very good at remembering names of famous people, and I actually had one of them almost, he kind of hit me because I didn't remember his real name. So, when you live in Vegas, you meet a lot of famous people, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but it just doesn't, after a while, you just get to where it's kind of blasé. It's just they're just people. They really are. And if you're, like, when I'm working in a strip club and you're meeting a lot of people, you don't remember names, unless somebody would come in and, sit and talk with me a lot and buy a lot of stuff for, VIPs or whatever on a regular basis. I don't fucking know who the hell you are. I mean, I don't. So, I don't know, I can't remember whoever played Katniss, whoever plays, Kate Beckinsale or whoever that is. If he's just watching her on TV and begins to go around telling everybody that they have a romance and there's not one, and he's going to look ridiculous, don't you think? Do you see how he just turned the page here? Charles just turned that page. Charles, we do not have a romance. You're delusional. You have Huntington's disease. It causes delusion and paranoia, and you got it bad. You're making a fool of yourself. We've not had a date ever. I don't go out with a man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal. You ran around telling everybody how you're going to starve me until I lie, and you have. I'm living in my car. You're sleeping in a nice cozy bed, walking to the next room to go to the bathroom while I have to drive to a fucking gas station. I'm never going to go out with somebody like you. It's not going to happen. I've never been on a date with you. You're disgusting and gross. So your delusional romance, how do you have a delusional romance with someone for 6 years? Where's Jacqueline, your wife? What does she think you're doing when you're in Oklahoma pretending, living a fantasy life that's not real? Where is she? What do you tell her? What about your kids, Matthew and Jordan? What do they think you're doing up in Oklahoma? Well, you run around hanging out with my friends and family, I heard. He's been seen with her friends and family, but never with her. People started thinking he's a little wacky. Officer Ethan would be thought of as wacky, like John Hinckley Jr., if he starts running around telling everybody he's in a relationship with Khloe Kardashian, and they've never even, nothing. So, if it's not okay for John Hinckley Jr., and it wouldn't be okay for Ethan Hutchins, why is it you think it's okay for you to behave like that? Yep, I don't, listen to the words again. When your guy said when he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've never seen before. And yet they go right back at it every day. And then things don't go well for them. I found out I've been trafficked. How do you make up an imaginary romance with someone and then traffic them? You sell them off to somebody. What is that? I don't even know what to say to that. What the fuck is that? I wasn't supposed to know I was trafficked. I wasn't supposed to know about the forgeries. I wasn't supposed to know that you're getting information to access my private things that are legally protected as private. Banking and shit. Car guy and shit. Insurance and shit. Gym memberships and shit. How did I know? Because the McNamara email was the first of it, but not, look at all this. So, how many times were you recorded talking to Fabian? How long has the wiretap been on you? You got one on you. You're a danger to me. My guys went into this judge, and said they've been talking about getting a hitman again. How do I know that? See, when I tell you, do it to me again, I fucking dare you. And then you beat your chest, and you do it again, and then you run around because I'm quoting you. And their guys are telling the judge, they've been talking to a hitman again. Talking about getting a hitman again. He said, I will sign a very broad order at this point. Keep that girl alive. Keep that girl alive. So how many times were you recorded talking to Fabian? I heard the one in 2016 when you told Fabian, and you're arguing over me. I didn't pick you. I picked him, Mr. Perry. And you knew that. You know how Mr. Perry knew that? Because he hacked my Facebook. And my girlfriend from New York said, are you dating anybody? And I said, not yet, but I really like this guy that I'm working with, Fabian. I'd like to get to know him better. We'll see where that goes. And you butt in. You got information illegally. And then you were a butt in. A nosy body. All of you are. Didn't somebody tell you guys that this morning? We wanted her to be selling real estate. We wanted her to do this. We wanted her to do that. And he was like, she doesn't know you. You act like, you guys got to remember, she's 53, not 12. She's not 20. She speaks perfect English. And until you fucked with my computer, 3.9 GPA, third year college. I ran a business consulting and political campaigns. Federal. Not your little podunk state bullshit. Federal. Different world. It's a completely different world. Mr. Perry, I really need you to not type in my phone when I'm doing this. He doesn't do it in this phone. He does it in the other one. This is not a conversation. Delusional. You're not supposed to even know what I'm doing right now. And you only do because you're invading my privacy illegally, and it's disgusting and gross. You're grossing me out. You're creeping me out. I don't care what you think. Nobody understands why you think I do. No one understands why the fuck you think that. You think so many weirdo. You need to fucking be in a hospital. So, it's very hard to talk to somebody that has no fucking idea what you just said. Because they're wacky. It's like talking to a piece of broccoli, literally. His responses are always bizarre. Way off from where they should be. If he understood what I just said. So, but there's a couple of the guys that work with you that are no different. And we're just like, maybe they're all a little, loopy-loo, coo-coo-coo, bird, I don't know. Anyways, so we got all this. Every time when I say, I dare you, do that again. And you do. And then we get more of these. get her a bus pass, and get her out of Oklahoma going back to 2021. As soon as I came out from Mike Neely and goes, hey, everybody, look at this. I have something I want everybody to look at. It's very, very important because a man's future has just been crushed. His wife and son, his teenage son, his kid, his baby, his boy, crushed. What if it was you and your kid? What if it's you and your wife? What if it's you? This man has been accused of a murder of his best friend. And everyone says it doesn't make sense because they weren't fighting. Second thing is, he's been found unconscious and in respiratory distress. Third thing is, not a fucking injury on the guy. Red swollen right hand, which has an IV in it. That's why it's red and swollen. But the man who died, his boss and best friend, had his head beat back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth so hard, his head came off his body. And yet he has not a mark on him. And he did that while he was sleeping. And he's a cop. And I come from cop. And I'm taking that personally. It's my family. I don't know the guy. That's not how cop family works. You don't have to. He's an officer down and need him an assist. And I think it's time to help him. The second I said that, guilty parties begin to try to subjugate and change my testimony. That's what guilty parties do. If you didn't do it, you wouldn't give a shit what I said, would you? What you would have said is, that's true. He couldn't have done it. You're right. He doesn't have anything on him. Let's find out who did do this. We back the blue. I'm a state elected official from Texas. We fucking back the blue. Let's get the guy out of jail. Let's find out who really did this, because it wasn't him. There's no way. You don't look like that and just beat somebody to death. Like you wasn't even in a fight at all. But that's not what you did. You have sought to destroy me day in and day out and day in and day out. And you go around and bullshit and act like you think, try to get everybody to think it's about a date. Have me sold so they'll go along with it and your gig is up. Because every time you got caught beforehand and I said, do it again, you sick son of a bitch, I dare you. And you got on a high horse and went, okay, I can get away with it. I'm going to get you. I'm going to take everything you have. Threaten, 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 like a spoiled, rotten 2-year-old little brat girl. So you're sleeping in a cozy bed while I sleep in my car and I got to drive to pee. And everybody hates you for that. We can get this stuff and you can't. Nobody helps you. Nobody. Who's helping me? You don't know because nobody will help you. Everybody hates you. So you want to fuck around with my bank cards again and cause things to get declined? Do it again. I dare you. And then don't complain when we start doing that. Even if I don't have it, those 40 cops helping me have it, and 12 reporters do too. Some of it. They don't get all of it, but they get some of it. And the judge that signs off on whatever investigatory orders they got to get, I'm not even told how all that works. All I was told is he made it very broad in how we get information and intelligence that will save your life. Our order was, get it and keep that girl alive. Keep that girl alive. They're talking about getting a hitman again. And they sat there and watched what you just did to my bank card. And they sit here and watch while I'm sleeping in my car and you're threatening to take my car and you're messing at bank drafts pertaining to car payments, and they are pissed. And they are men, and you're alone, and they're not. They got a real woman sitting on their lap. My guess is Ethan Hutchins does too, because he's actually not stupid like you, or delusional wacky like you, or John Hinckley like you, watching TV, pretending that's a real love life. 2013 is when I left. I fucking left in 2013. I don't do abusive. I don't do cruel. First I leave. First I'll walk away from a conflict. If the conflict follows me, I'm going to fuck you up like you've never been fucked up before. And nobody else has stuff like that. I know people, Charles. My family was the power in the town where I grew up. That UFO thing was a big fucking deal. And my granddad was involved in that. And in the investigation and the subsequent establishing of the museums for all the people that want to come look. And Mr. Perry, your contact is creepy and I don't like it. And the more you do it, the more of these we get. When he pesters her and takes her money, things do not go well for us. Clearly, that's what you're shooting for. You don't want things to go well for you. When you pester me, do you understand what I'm saying? When you pester me, what happens, sir? Does that fix all your problems? Or does it make them worse? When you take my money, does that fix all your problems? Or does it make it worse? Because, see, we have all this. I mean, who has the actual recordings? You tell Fabian, I'm going to find a way to lock her up again, and she's not getting out at this time unless she's with me. You give up. And I'm going, holy shit, not your place to say, you sick little butt-in. How about I kick your ass? How about that? How about I just fuck you up something terrible? You and your criminal bullshit. How about that instead? Because you just butt into something that's none of your business. And all of you fuckers that it's not like we're friends and I'm having you over for dinner asking you, what do you think I should do for a living? I hate real estate shit. I don't want anything to do with it. I hate it more now because you're trying to force me into it and I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with Houston. I don't want anything to do with any of you. You're committing a crime every time you contact me, every time you take something, every time you cause a problem for me, every time you cause drama. Charles, every contact you make disgusts me, you creepy little fuck. Stop it. Just stop it. I don't care what you think. Shut up. Everybody's tired of hearing you talk. You need to get that through your head. It always gets us more because everybody fucking is sick of hearing you talk. Do you understand that or not? Get a special ed teacher. I don't have any patience for this. I'm not trained for it. I don't know how to deal with it. This crisis management thing, that is great because you get people who really know how to deal with people like you. And I'm not in that crowd. I don't know anything about it. It's not something I want to do. I took psychology at first when I went to college because I want to know how to read a jury, sir, like Dr. Phil does. He did jury consulting. He could get some feedback as to how the attorney was relaying the case to the jury. Does the jury like what they're hearing or not? Are they receiving this information in a good way for our side or not? That is good. I do sting ops like nobody else can do them. Nobody you know can do it. I heard somebody tell you there are 5 people in the country that I know can do what she can do. 5 in the whole country. Do you understand that? I heard that conversation too. 5 of us can do what I can do. So, wouldn't hurt to have a psychology degree and some training, right? To kind of even get better at it. I quickly couldn't stand it. Quickly could not fucking stand it. I don't want to hear about your mental crap. I don't care. That's not my thing. There are people, that is their thing. I'm not that. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I know Mr. Consular's going to take offense to that because his daughter, listen, I've been the victim of nasty, unimaginable, deeply wicked crime from mentally crazy people for 13 years. When you go through what I'm going through and you're sleeping in your car, do it to a mentally ill nutbag psychopath, then come talk to me about my position on that. You don't get to say, if you're not going through what I go through, you're not sleeping in your car, because you got a psychopath taking everything you have. You haven't had, somebody like that take your clothes and throw them in a dumpster, all of them. Everything I had. My granddad's t-shirt, my granny's note that she sent me right before she died, my granddad's magazine I can replace, my granddad's election t-shirt. I've had that since I was 12 years old. Since I was 12 years fucking old, and you threw it in a dumpster. So when you go through that, anybody who's listening, then you tell me how horrible I am to criticize somebody like, we're not talking about somebody like his daughter anyway, we're talking about somebody like Ted Bundy, and we're talking about somebody like BTK. We're talking about someone like Jeffrey Dahmer. He is that bad. And we can prove it, Mr. Perry, and when your criminal trial comes along, we will. So you going around, I don't think she can prove it. I don't think she can prove it. It seems like I don't think she can prove watch this. Watch this. Remember what happened last time I said that to you. Watch this. And you laughed at me. And now y'all running around. How does she know about that? How does she find out? Who's talking? Do any of y'all know who might be talking? Who might they be talking to? Which countries might be mad about, human rights violations? Which countries might be mad? Is it Peru? Y'all know anybody in Peru we could call and tell them to stop stopping our crime? Get that hay out of your mouth, first of all. Is it El Paso Police? Is it LAPD? Is it, if you call LAPD and you talk like that, they'll hang up on you. You know what our guys do? Put you on hold and go to lunch. They got some buddies that'll do the same thing. They're not gonna dignify you with fuck. They're not gonna hang up on you. They're not gonna talk to you. They're not gonna do anything but, let me check and put you on hold and let's go have lunch, guys. And you can just sit there. You can just fucking sit there. That's sending a message. Here's what we think of you. Got it? Your time is, you're gonna fuck with her time. You're gonna take up hours and hours of her time, having to fix a problem you caused. Here's what I'm gonna do with yours. I'm gonna put you on hold, and I'm gonna walk out the door and waste your time. Got it? So, when we get these, when I decide I like someone, and then they decide they like me back, it becomes between me and that person, not you. I don't know you fucks. You're not people I've invited in my life. Charles, you are not invited to Oklahoma. I never introduced you to my family. I would never have allowed you around my family. I've told you to get the fuck away from them. So this morning he's typing in my phone, is it your family? Is it your kids? Have I ever answered those kind of questions? You whack job. Nope. The more you do, try to ask me those kind of questions, I get mad. I don't want to help you. We all want you gone. We all want for you to be gone. I'll never be broke again. There won't be anybody sitting around causing bank draft problems. You'll be in jail. You won't be here to do that to me anymore. So when we get these, that's what that's for. And the more you do shit like that, the more of these we get. And the more of these we get, the easier it's going to be to get a conviction. Don't you think? Are you all stupid? I mean, you guys, special kind of stupid. Because this is a lot. Who the fuck is Lucius? How do I even have that name? The second he threatened, I'm going to get you kicked out of your house. Because you won't lie for me. I'm like, oh God. What in the fuck? I said, if you do that, my 40 cop guys are going apeshit on you. You're going to see crap. It's going to get bad for you. You are going to make things actually much worse for you. Right after that, when he did it, we get Geppetto's name, your little witch that you hired. We get Lucius's name. Mr. Perry, I'm not trying to help you here. Those aren't little hints. He's like, is it Geppetto? Is it Lucius? I'm not trying to help you. I'm not going to help you. When you're gone, I won't be broke again. I won't be sleeping in my car. I'm not going to help you. I'm going to help you go to jail so I won't be sleeping in my car anymore. You won't be around to cause a problem for me anymore. Everybody likes people who make life easy and fun, and everything's an ordeal and drama with you, and cruelty, and abuse. I'm never going to help you. And I'm repeating this. I've said this before. I've said it a lot. When you contact me and pester me and take my money, things don't go well for you. And you act like you like that. And every time you do it, we get more of these. Right here. These go with a recording that'll be used to get a conviction. And the more we get, because you pissing everybody off, pestering me, contacting me, invading my privacy, causing a problem or drama for me, causing bank draft problems, causing accounts to go bad, contracts to get interfered with. Every day that I'm broke and sleeping in my car, every day Michael Neely's in jail, the more of these we get, because you're pissing everybody off. I hate it for her that she has to drive to pee. I was taught you'd let a woman have your chair. He's sleeping in a nice cozy bed, walks to the next room to go to the bathroom. She has to drive to the fucking gas station. And that's why nobody likes him. Because he does that to her. That is not what a gentleman does. That is what a cruel piece of trash does. And that's why we can get information and nobody will tell you fuck. Everybody hates y'all. I don't know you. You're not friends of mine. You don't get to decide what I do with my life. I've not called you up and said, what do you think I should do with my life? You're committing a crime against me that you even know me. In the way that you know me. It's disgusting to me. I feel raped. It's awful to feel raped every day by people you don't know. Butting into your business. You didn't ask them. I didn't ask you what you think. What I said for you to do is you get I'm not going to take your byline money, Charles. You owe me money. Pay what you owe. Let my family help me. And you quit calling people and tell them we're not allowing her family to help her right now. We've heard those too. We're not allowing her family to help her right now. Ernest, you can't help her right now. Craig and Dan, you can't help her right now. If she calls you, let me know. And they're supposed to call you as soon as I call them. And then you say yes or no. We know all about that too. I'm not supposed to know, but yet I do. It's crazy. Get the fuck out of my life. The more you contact me, the longer I'm broke, the longer Mike Neely's in jail, the more we get. Charles, I'm not going to tell you who the leaks are. I don't even know that. I wouldn't help you if you had a gun to my head. Because you're fixing to go to jail, and there won't be any more broke Cindy. There won't be any more. You won't be around to cause any more problems for me, all of you. You're gone. That's what everybody wants. You're a burden. Everybody wants gone. Cancer. Pussy, smelly, ugly, nasty, deadly cancer. Everybody wants for to be gone. We can get information, and you can't. Nobody wants to help you, least of all me. I'm sleeping in my car. You're carrying out the threat to starve me until I lie. We've said it over and over and over and over and over. What fucking planet do you live on? You know, this little delusion gig of yours is just making people, it's sour stomach. Sour taste in your mouth. Sour, ugh. It's what a weird, get that fuck off me. How do we make him stop calling us? How do we get that fuck off of us out of Oklahoma? Nobody invited you here. Your wife, Jacqueline, and your kids, Matthew and Jordan, live in Lubbock. Why aren't you with them? What lie do you tell them to come up here and live a fantasy that's pretend? You have no chance of a date with somebody like me. I don't go out with a man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal and respects boundaries. And you cannot do either one. You can't do it. You have no idea what I just said, do you? Yep. How do I sit across the dinner table from somebody who fucking doesn't know what I just said? And then they're going to tell me what I did all day? I already know what I did all day. Why don't you go work? Women like men who work and have something interesting to talk about. Not men who sit around and voyeur all day and cause problems for other people and ruin. So you're very hated men, all of you. I don't know you. I didn't invite you into my life. I haven't asked you what you think I should do for a living. What I asked you to do is stop causing problems for me. Stop invading my privacy. Get the fuck out. And whatever loss you've caused, pay that and get out. Get the hell out of my life. Get the fuck out of it. Get the fuck out of it. We can get information and you can't. When he pesters her, contacts me at all, pestering me, and takes her money, things don't go well for us. And Charles goes and does it. Well, I'm going to do it more. I'm going to do it more. I can do it. I can do whatever I want. I can't. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. And then we get these. And then we get these. And any decision that happens between me and Fabian is between me and Fabian. And it's nothing to do with you. It's none of your business, nosy body. I wanted him, not you. That was not your concern. And you telling him, I'll find a way to lock her up. And she won't get out this time unless she's with me. You need to give up. You need to butt out, Bertha. How about you butt out and mind your own business? I thought you had a lot of power. Because if you have a lot of power, you shouldn't have any problem at all finding yourself a little mistress that you don't have to hold a gunpoint to get a real date with. Every time you go at me, you pester me, you take my money, things don't go well for you. You pester me, you take my money, things don't go well for you. We got all that. You pester me, you take my money, things don't go well for you. You know what? Our guys don't like deprivation of food and shelter for women and children. That's what got this open to begin with. Didn't I say that before? I think I did. You have to repeat yourself all the time with these guys. They're just like, I don't know. There's some kind of, like I said, it's like talking to a piece. Go talk to Charles Perry and David Robertson and all those guys. Or go talk to a piece of broccoli. You get the same thing.
Leave me alone. I don't want to pray for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk, to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't. Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave me alone!
It feels like rape, because I don't like you. I think that you are a hideous monster. I think that you are every bit as wicked and depraved and demented and deranged as the BTK. All of you. Because who sits around causing a person they don't even know to be ruined? And then goes, oh, we think she should be in real estate. And the guy's like, she doesn't know you. You're not her friend. She didn't call and ask. You formed a relationship with a woman who doesn't even know you. Because you're sitting there watching her in the privacy of her home. You think there's a relationship there. There's not. Two people have to be in a relationship. Both people have to consent to it. She doesn't fucking know you, you fucking idiot. What you've done is you formed something in your head that's not real. You look like a buffoon. Going around telling everybody what you think I should do. So, I mean, we're at a loss. Wow. But none of you would be something I'd be interested in. I don't go out with a man unless he makes sure my boundaries aren't crossed. And I never miss a meal. So we all know you're trying to starve me out of Oklahoma because I'm a threat to your crime is really what this is about. If you had not killed Lucky Miller and framed Mr. Officer Manford Police Officer Michael Neely, you would have backed the blue, looked at the evidence and gone, wow, he didn't do it. Let's help him get home to his wife and kid and find out who did this. They just did a meth bust. Maybe it was from that. But that's not what you did. You caused suborned perjury in his criminal trial because I should have testified. When I could see that I wasn't going to be able to testify, you were going to fuck with that. I filed 2 motions to intervene, a motion and a supplement. There should have been a hearing to see if I could even do that, if I had standing. There should have been a hearing to establish whether or not I had standing. And at that time, I make my argument, and the prosecutor makes his argument. And then the judge goes, yes, Ms. Ortiz, you have a standing. So now let's hear the motion. Or, no, you don't. That never happened. It's fucking sitting on the docket like a meatball. Still. Kind of like a whole bunch of other motions that were filed by me. And there was nothing decided on it. Just all of a sudden everything's dismissed. You guys are crooked as they get. But the thing is, when you started doing this shit to me, everything changed. You got a new normal, and you're too dumb fuck to realize that. You're not pivoting at all. We're laughing. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. It's not even fair. They're not even pivoting. They just do the same thing every day and get told on and piss everybody off. And then we get crap coming in faster than anybody knows what to do with it. I can't type it all up. I don't have time. I mean, there's no way. So there's a lot of stuff that I know, but I won't say anything about it. I don't have time to type it all up. But I may change my plans, or I may do something different, or I may, you send me some sort of DoorDash fucked up something, I just don't take it, or I'll unassign it and bye, I'm bailing, bouncing, bye. I'm not playing your fucking game, not doing it. And you've not had that happen before. So let's go over it again. Everybody got their little crayons out and shit, and puppets. When you pester me, we get more. And I find out things I'm not supposed to know. When you contact me and peep on me and cause trouble for me and bank draft shit, you feel like a tough guy with your little, little man syndrome problem, we get more. Because that's not what gentlemen do. That's what pathetics do. Like O.J. Simpson. Vegas got that guy. He got his eventually. He did not win the wrongful death lawsuit. He did not. He is a very hated man. Social feedback, social justice. You think you're not getting that already when we quote you every fucking day for 7 years? We're going to use that to get a conviction and a criminal trial. And the more we get, the easier that's going to be. And every time you fuck with me, we get more. So you just mess with my bank card. Believe me, we'll get more. You're depriving me of food and shelter. Basic human rights. Basic human rights. And you don't have that right. And then sit around, we think she should be on real estate. Oh my God, but she doesn't fucking know you, so what you think doesn't matter. Whatever relationship is between me and Fabian is between me and Fabian. That's my choice, and you're butting in, just like the puzzle showed you. Just like the puzzle depicts you. Your little wannabe butt-in. You see that? You're the word me. That depicts Charles Perry as a selfish, cruel butt-in. You're always the wannabe, never the wanted one. I dated a lot of guys, but there were a couple that were more serious. One, of course, would be my husband, Ernest, and then Saeed. I dated him for 4 years and owned a business with him, and we practically lived together. And so that would probably be the second most serious one. Brandon, my oldest son's father. So these guys will tell you, Charles, it didn't take 13 years to, get a little something. I mean, that happened pretty quick. And they made sure I didn't miss a meal. And they didn't invade my privacy. They didn't peep and hack and poke and cause one problem after another problem after another problem after another problem. And they worked hard, and they had something interesting to talk about. And you can't do any of that, Mr. I have power. We're all like, oh my gosh, you're like a little wannabe. You're just like this little, sit around and play with your little doll and make weird noises all day and poke and peep and bother. Yeah, I mean, you did some weirdo shit. You ought to hear the stuff he does in my phone. It's like, get the fuck out of my phone. I guess hackers or people who clone your phone can do some weird shit with the phone. I mean, I'm just like, oh, Jesus, what are we? I feel like you feel like you're in an insane asylum all the time. All the fucking time. Maybe that's why I have this sour taste in my mouth towards that kind of thing. I just fucking don't want to. I'm like, anyway, so the boo is a private joke between one of the cop friends of, we've had that for a long time. But it also depicts the fear Mr. Perry causes and the sadness. But look whose name that is. The probability of the name Charles popping up on here over Fabian is a lot higher because Charles is a very common name. It's like Jim and John, and it's very common. And the word in the name Fabian's a very unique name. Not very many people have that name. And it's his name with the word hope, and they intersect, Charles. And you are just a little butt-in telling him something like that. I'll find a way to lock her up again, and she won't get out this time unless she's with me. Wow. And that you think that's going to make women just throw themselves at you, acting like that? Yeah, but you're alone. You and your doll. You have matching dress with your doll, your blow-up doll thing that you have, whatever you... do you wear... you just... Why don't you just trans over? Instead of making my life a living hell because you got some sort of sexual frustration problem that has now become crime causation. Like BTK. If you want to be a girl, go fucking be a girl. Caitlyn Jenner, you like attention? Caitlyn Jenner got all kinds when she came out. And she decided to trans over. Instead of hiding it. Just be you. Just fucking be you. And stop bothering me with that crap. I don't want to deal with it. I'm sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. We don't have any problem getting information. You do. You're a deviant. And you're a criminal deviant. when you try to talk to me, it drives me nuts. I hate it. I hate it. I don't care what you think, whack job. You don't even make sense to me. 99.9% of the population doesn't like suffering. They don't like crime. They don't like watching one person hurt another. Defunding of police was over corruption. People don't like corruption. People are sick and tired of corruption. Crime is at the top of the list of things that are important to voters this year, second only to their wallet and their money. So you're going at my money. You threw my clothes away. You threw my granddad's stuff away. My shirt, the shirt that you threw away was from his election. I've had it since I was 12 years old. It meant the world to me. And you did that just to hurt me. And you think that's how you get women to like you? People like people who make life easy and fun. Just like that. And you all are monsters that go around threatening. Did you leak? Did you say something? Did you let something slip out? Everybody's sick of that. Sick of you. People are complaining. We're sick of being told when we can talk to her and what we can say. You try to get her to say this and try to get her to say that and ask her about this. Try to get her talking about that. We're tired of being told what to talk to her about. We're tired of being told when we can talk to her. You guys are new people in our lives, and we don't want you here. Didn't invite you here. You're butt-ins. You have formed some sort of relationship, bizarre relationship with me, because you know me way better than you should. And I don't know you from fuck. And you don't matter. So keep that straight in your head, because you look weird and buffoon going around telling people what you think I ought to do. I don't know you. David, nobody's done anything to you're not sleeping in your truck. Nobody's done anything to injure you. You got up one day and decided to ruin a stranger's life just because you can? Is that what you did? Or were you hired? Had you not killed Chief Miller, you would have not attacked me like this. When I said they did it. They killed the cop. I come from cop. We don't put up with that. We absolutely don't put up with that. I don't care who the fuck you think you are. If you're Vegas, if you're like Vegas Mafia, you better, I don't know what, Vegas Mafia, after the movie Casino, where you can see all these events that occurred, it's based on a true story. Mayor Goodman plays himself in the movie. He is the attorney for the Mafia. And then he was the mayor for Vegas for a long time. Now his wife is, or she was, as a few years ago. I don't like Google Vegas all the time. But here's the thing. The Vegas Mafia, they started getting into some stupid stuff. They roll with the fists and blowing up cars and shit. And that's old school Mafia. They don't do that crap anymore. You got to pivot. You got to get up with the times. They don't beat down women either. They actually run corporations, and they use women to help run the corporations. You guys are Neanderthal, if I've ever seen it. They run corporations and employ the town and own the town, and that's that. And you don't have that kind of intelligence. The Mafia rules with intelligence now and intellect, and not going around blah, 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 blah. threaten. Did you let something slip? Did you tell? Who'd you tell? Oh my gosh, whoever the fuck does that, I'd just slap the fuck out of you. It's a good thing. I've told y'all. You notice these guys don't do that to my face? You don't see them coming where I am. They're hiding behind the computer. They're going around behind my back talking to my friends and family, threatening, blah, blah, blah. And Princess Cuckoo Bird here sits behind her computer, watching me in the privacy of my home with her little doll, and can't figure out why she can't get a date. You sold me. You're starving me. I don't go out with a man unless you make sure I don't miss a meal. You want to starve me into a lie, so that means you want the lie, not the date. Nobody believes you anymore. You wanted a wedding, not for a wedding. You wanted a wedding to get the photos to make your forgery look real and legit. That's all that was. See, you forget who it is you're dealing with, Cuckoo Bird. And I can call you a Cuckoo Bird because I'm sleeping in my car. And as long as I'm sleeping in my car, we're going to keep getting this stuff in. And the more we get in, the easier it's going to be to get a conviction. It doesn't even serve you. We don't even know what to think about this. Those cops got that to me in jail. Right up under your nose. Didn't call you and say, it's okay if we give this puzzle to her in jail. Did they? It wasn't up to you, was it? Any of you? None of you. None of you got that kind of phone call. They just, boom, got it to me. Right up under your noses, didn't they? Fabian's name is intersecting with the word hope. So, it's not that those two words are in the same book or even on the same page. They intersect. And you're just the wannabe butt-in. I mean, you're pathetic. You are absolutely pathetic. If you wanted to date, you'd make sure I don't miss a meal. The thing is, you want the lie. And you think, for some reason, that if you starve me, then I'll lie. That's not what I'm doing here, though, in case you missed it, slow. What I'm doing is, instead, I'm saying, Mr. Perry's trying to starve me into a lie. And by the way, he threatened it, and threatened it, and threatened it, and threatened it. It is illegal to do that. And I documented it and I got 400 emails about it going back to 2020. Mr. Perry's going to starve me into a lie. He had a meeting, and that meeting was recorded, and I heard it. Police played that for me, and I heard it. And I typed it up in an email. Right. So, when they go to a judge, and they go in this meeting, where this guy, and this guy, and there's a new guy, so we need a wiretap on that new guy. There's the probable cause right there. He was in the meeting. That's how that works, right? I don't know. Ask Kunstweiler. Ask him how that works. He's the prosecutor. Understand that? Ask him. So, I said, you know, back when all that was going on in 2016, and you're threatening Fabian, threatening to hurt me to Fabian, which is he's gonna be, like, upset about that. People don't like threatening people. They don't like people who make everything a drama, and everything's a thing, and everything's an ordeal. And what should take 5 minutes, now it's taking all day. Now we gotta fix a problem you caused. Now we gotta, oh my God, here we go again. When he pesters her, and all of a sudden I find out things I'm not supposed to know. Like you trafficked me, and all this right here. When you take my money, and every night I'm sleeping in my car, I find out things I'm not supposed to know. It's been that way for 7 years. McNamara email was 7 years ago. Every day. It's the same. Y'all don't know how to pivot? I mean, we're just like, it's so easy, it's not fair. So, you fucked with my bank card. You can expect us to get more from that, because you did it. You had a meeting today, trying to figure out what countries might be upset with you for violating human rights of women and children, depriving us of our basic rights and needs, shelter and food. Right? Did you have that meeting? Trying to figure out what country might be doing that? Might be helping us? Yeah, I think we heard that, because you do stuff like mess up my bank drafts and crap. And I'm sleeping in my car. When he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. And you seem to like that, though. You seem to like it when things don't go well for you. We're fine. But then next time I go, do that again, I dare you, you sick little fuck. Do it again. Contact me one more time. I dare you. I fucking dare you. And then when you go around in your little dress, I can't, I'm going to do it anyway. And then we get these. And then you're running around, how'd you find out? It's the same thing every day. First, you guys do the same thing. We've not seen anything like it. We're just like, I don't even, this is like fucking romper room. We're here, daycare, or we all feel like we're in a mental hospital or something. Sitting there and, watching crazy people run around, and they don't think anything through. They don't have any logic behind what they do. I mean, look at this. Charles, that was from last night. You did something to me. I was sleeping in my car, by the way. That should never be. There's enough people that owe me money, including you. That should never be. Where any payments are late, ever. Or I can't afford to, get a fucking hotel. We told you what you need to do to fix all that, and you have not done it, so we just keep getting more. Part of that includes get the fuck out of my life, and don't contact me again. You do it again, I dare you. We'll get this. Don't complain about it, and don't run around going, how'd she find out about that? How'd she know? That's how. When you pester me, when you contact me, when you cause a problem for me, when you cause drama for me, when you take anything of mine at all, when you threaten me, I'm gonna get you. You and Neil. You two are something. You guys need to be roommates at the crazy cuckoo farm. And any of that. Every night I'm sleeping in my car. Every night Michael Neely's in jail. We're going to keep getting these until your arrest. And then then you're gone and we don't have to deal with this anymore. I'll never be broke again. I'll have my privacy back. So there's no motivation to help you. Continue to make my life a living hell. And back when I first got back, hang on a second. All right, so there's just pages and pages of this stuff that that I typed up. Look at that. How'd you know Mike Neely had to be coaxed to Pensacola? Come to Pensacola, Mike. It'll be fun. And his life blew up. Go to Texas, Cynthia. It'll be fun. Yeah, nope, I don't think so. I'm not suicidal, as it turns out. And I don't know any of you people. Get out of my life. You know me. You formed a relationship with me, and I don't know any fucking clue who you are. I don't like you. I know that. You're not people I would choose to hang out with. I mean, you're just whack job city. So, the McNamara email is right here. That was 2015. We've gotten them in every day since. And that's only the first that you know of, not the first. I didn't type up the first. This is the first you know of. He's going to false arrest me. I'm the Jenga piece. I told you guys that when I first got back from jail, Charles, and I said, you've done this to women, beat down women and children, babies, all your life. But it changed when you started doing it to me. I knew I had that. I don't think at that point you realized. I think you knew I had it. I think you didn't know the significance of it at that point. I'm not sure you still do. I'm not sure you still do. I had the Fabian puzzle. I don't know if you knew I had the Fabian puzzle at that point. But I had both of them at that point. And I said, you don't even know what you just got yourself into. But you're about to see things happen you've not seen before. You're going to stop. You think you're going to get away with it? Not this time. I'm the Jenga piece. You start pushing and pulling me, your whole thing gets wobbly, and you know that. I come from cop, sir. Law enforcement is to relieve suffering caused by crime, and you guys cause a lot of suffering, and everybody hates you for it. We don't have a hard time getting information at all. None. And nobody will tell you fuck. And you can't take that sign as here's how people feel about what you're doing to me and Mike and everybody else you heard. You don't understand anything I'm saying, do you? You better get a fucking special ed teacher. When you pester me, when you contact me, when you cause a problem for me, the longer I'm in my car sleeping and you're trying to take the car, we're going to get more and more and more and more till your arrest. And the more we get, the easier it'll be to get a conviction. Do you understand? The longer Mike's in jail, Officer Michael Neely, injured in the line of duty. Charles, get out of my phone and shut up. I'm not going to help you. I want for you to be gone. You don't even want my help. You don't care. You don't care about anything. Because I've told you, if you want my guys to back off of you, then you're going to get out of my life. Get out of it. Get the fuck out of it. They're on you because you're on me. Mostly. They're investigating what you're doing. But the more you do to me, the more, I got Mickey James to tell, we're sitting there and it's like, if he kills me, now see, notice how much we're discussing my murder. Even with Mr. James. Mr. James, if he kills me, it's going to look like Gary Condit and Chandra Levy. We're going to see that kind of speculation. And he says, he won't care. What? I get him to text that to me the next day. So, you don't know what you stepped in. You don't know what you're dealing with. That doesn't mean I'm not terrified. Watch Deep Undercover. Those guys were terrified. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You get terrified if you're in a dangerous situation. You can't be brave if you're not scared. I'm fucking terrified. A lot. But you have to ignore that and just keep going. Go to the move to the next step in the process. I was a key witness in a murder trial and you wouldn't let me talk in. You won't let me put you on the stand. 3 times I sued you. Burden of proof is on me. 3 times you go into court and you won't let me in. I can't put you on the stand. Why not? What are you afraid of? What are you fucking afraid of? All 5 of you. See, people. You think people don't notice? You must think everybody's just as dumb as you are. They're not. I promise you, they're not. So this was the first. I mean, do you guys know what that means? TBD. What does that email mean to you? I'd like to know what you guys think it means. I know. If I ask Charles and Dave and John, and those guys, I might as well go ask a piece of broccoli. What does this email mean? They don't know. But what does TPD think it means? What does it mean here that we got it in 2019? I'm going to have our car towed and sold before she figures out it's not even legal. Because DVIS has a whole thing set up for giving victims of domestic violence rides, because that's just kind of what you fuckers do, take the car. Stalking victims, the national, in connecting the dots, they talk about it. The stalker goes out the car. Let me call, little pathetics got to cause a problem to get attention, like Dr. Russell says. Why don't you just trans over, sir? Or man, what do you want to be called? We don't even know. What are you? What are you? Because men are that I know, real men protect women and children. They don't beat them down. They don't play with dolls. They don't sit around and pretend, watching TV and pretend. They're out working. That's what men do. They'll give their chair up for a woman. They don't let a woman go without a bed while they sleep in one. So, much less try to make that happen. So what I told you guys when I first got back is I said, you don't know what you stepped in. You're Pee-wee. We're big league. We're catching stuff like this. Nobody else has. Right, Lucius? Right, Geppetto? Right, Calvin? Right, Muffin Man? So what's Papa John's? What's Rumpelstiltskin? You guys have these code words for stuff you do. What's Papa John's? What's Rumpelstiltskin? What's Hansel and Gretel? We know what those are. We know exactly what they are. Nobody else has that. I said, watch this. Didn't I? And now y'all are running all around. How'd she know? How'd she find out she was trafficked and we had a forgery? How'd she find out about? How'd she know about that? Yeah, I told you. When you fuck with me, it's different. And it's the same every time you do it. And the more you give us, the easier it's going to be to get a conviction, is it not? When he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. It's like you like things not to go well for you. I told you, leave me the fuck alone. I don't like you. I don't want to know you. I don't know any of you that sit around and think you can make a decision for me. You don't butt in between me and Fabian. Fabian and I decide what Fabian and I will be. Alright? You butt out of that. You butt out of everything. Butt out of my career, butt out of my bank, butt out of everything. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to help you. We all want you gone. And then I'll never be broke again. And I'll have my privacy back. Just get a fucking life. Get out of mine.